gosh, my heart melted seeing you with your girls.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We're young ladies now.
I know. It happens fast. My 16-year-old likes to give me a hard time, and she is very clear about not wanting to see anything that I'm in if she thinks it might be good.
Matt Damon may be known for his blockbuster films and iconic roles, but lately it's his stunning daughters who are stealing the spotlight. Now grown and glowing with confidence, charm, and grace, his daughters have stepped into public view, and fans can't stop talking. From red carpet moments to rare family photos, their beauty and poise have left the internet in awe. But there's more to them than just looks. So, who are these young women captivating the world? And how has Damon kept them grounded through all the fame? Let's dive in, shall we? Matt Damon on daughter Isabella's big move. At 18, Isabella Damon is stepping confidently into a new chapter of her life, and she's doing it with brains, beauty, and bold individuality. As the daughter of Hollywood icon Matt Damon, she's long been in the public eye, but it's clear she's carving out a path entirely her own. Now attending New York University's Gallatin School of Individualized Study, Isabella isn't just admired for her striking looks, but also for her sharp intellect and fearless personality. Her recent departure for college marks a major shift for the Damon household. Speaking with some reporters, her father opened up about how deeply the transition is being felt. "We have a 26-year-old, so we've been through this once before," Damon explained, "but it's still a major adjustment for us, and for her sisters. It's a different household with one less person there, so it's a big adjustment." There's no doubt Matt Damon is proud of all his daughters, not just for their beauty, something that's hard to ignore, but for who they are at their core. Still, the Damons are a family blessed with undeniable good looks. Isabella, with her expressive eyes and effortless charm, is already turning heads, not because she's Matt Damon's daughter, but because she carries herself with a presence that demands attention. The same goes for her sisters, who each reflect a graceful blend of their parents' best features. But what makes Isabella stand out even more is what lies beneath the surface. During her high school graduation, her school honored her in a way that said it all. In a heartfelt Instagram post, they wrote, "Bella, your unique blend of observational wit, thoughtful prose, and unwavering self-assurance has left an indelible mark on our community. Your teachers have cherished the depth and creativity you brought to Word Flirt, and your peers have been inspired by your fearless individuality. Your confident embrace of your identity serves as a beacon of inspiration for all of us." For her family, watching her head off to college is both a joyful milestone and a tender reminder of how quickly time flies. "It's a surreal kind of time," Damon said. "The way it operates in your life, the older you get, it just feels like I was holding her yesterday." It's a sentiment every parent understands. How one moment they're teaching their kids to tie their shoes, and the next, they're waving goodbye as those same kids walk into adulthood. Yet, what keeps their family grounded is their strong, genuine bond. Despite his fame, Damon has always been a dad first. He and Isabella share a playful, down-to-earth relationship that many would envy. In fact, she's been known to poke fun at her father's career, showing little interest in his movies, and never hesitating to keep him humble. Damon has joked in past interviews about her complete apathy toward his fame, revealing that she once refused to watch his movies just so she could make fun of him without bias. That kind of honesty and humor paints a picture of a family full of warmth and real connection. And while the world sees the outer beauty of Damon's daughters, what truly makes them stand out is the strength, intelligence, and individuality they carry with them. Isabella, now surrounded by opportunity at NYU, is in the perfect environment to flourish. The Gallatin School's unique structure, allowing students to design their own curriculum, fits her personality like a glove. It's a place where thinking differently is celebrated, where self-expression is encouraged, and where a young woman like her can thrive both creatively and intellectually. Back at home, her absence is deeply felt, not just by her parents, but also by her sisters. The Damon girls are close, and that sisterhood is something that adds to their overall appeal. Each Each of them is radiant in her own right, but together they're a beautiful force, inside and out. Their stunning looks might grab attention, but it's their character that truly captivates. So, while the world admires the Damon daughters for their undeniable beauty, their father sees so much more: strength, compassion, curiosity, and confidence. And as Isabella steps into her future, it's clear she carries not just the name, but the heart and grace of her family with pride. Apart from the college girl Isabella, does Damon have other daughters? Who are they? Let's take a brief look at Damon's 4 daughters. 4 daughters and a life of laughter, love, and lessons. In 2006, Hollywood star Matt Damon and his wife Luciana took on a new and exciting role: becoming parents. That year, they welcomed their first child together, a beautiful baby girl named Isabella Damon. What they didn't realize at the time was that her birth would be the beginning of a vibrant, joy-filled chapter in their lives, one bursting with bedtime stories, little giggles, tantrums, hugs, and the roller coaster of raising girls. Life as they knew it was about to change in the most heartwarming way. As Isabella grew older, it became clear she had inherited not only her father's intelligence, but also a razor-sharp wit and a refreshing honesty that often left people in stitches. In one memorable interview with late-night host Seth Meyers, Matt shared a hilarious story. Isabella refused to watch any of his movies, especially the successful ones. She's very clear about not wanting to see anything I'm in if she thinks it might be good, Damon said with a chuckle. It was classic teen sass mixed with just the right dose of comedic timing, and it made for an unforgettable moment that highlighted their unique father-daughter bond. But the Damon family story didn't end there. In addition to Luciana's daughter from her previous marriage, Alexia, and Isabella, her first daughter with Damon, they welcomed their second daughter in August 2008, Gia. Just 2 years later, in October 2010, the family grew once more with the arrival of little Stella. With each new addition, the energy in their home shifted and multiplied. What began as a couple navigating parenthood became a bustling, 6-member household brimming with love, noise, and endless activity. Matt, known for roles that often required physical stamina and emotional depth, soon found fatherhood to be the most demanding and fulfilling part he'd ever played. I've learned that if you decide not to sleep, you pick up all these extra hours in the day, he once joked, reflecting on the sleepless nights and constant demands of parenting multiple young children. Despite the chaos, the exhaustion, and the overwhelming nature of it all, he wouldn't trade it for the world. It was, as he described, relentless at times, but equally rewarding. What truly sets Damon apart from many in the spotlight is how deeply committed he is to his family. Even with a busy career in Hollywood, he's always been intentional about making time for his girls. A prime example? In 2008, when Luciana was expecting their second daughter, Gia, Matt made the conscious decision to step back from acting for the rest of the year. "I'm just hanging out with my family," he told USA Today. It wasn't just a break. It was a testament to how much fatherhood meant to him. Matt Damon didn't just adapt to parenthood, he embraced it. He became the kind of father who listens, laughs, and lets his daughters roast him for being a movie star. He swapped red carpets for school pickups, late-night scripts for bedtime stories, and intense film sets for chaotic, love-filled dinners at home. Today, as his daughters grow into stunning young ladies, it's clear they've inherited more than their parents' good looks. They've been raised in a home full of humor, humility, and genuine love. A household where their famous dad is just Dad, the guy who can act but still can't convince them to watch Jason Bourne. And maybe that's the real win. What kind of parent is Matt Damon? Does his busy schedule avail him time for his daughter? Let's find out Damon's definition of parenthood, specifically at a time when the world was in fear. Parenthood redefined. When the COVID-19 pandemic swept across the world, it brought a great deal of fear, confusion, and uncertainty. Lives were upended, routines were shattered, and many people found themselves navigating uncharted waters. But for actor Matt Damon, amid all the chaos, the pandemic offered something incredibly rare and precious: time. Not just any kind of time, but the kind that allows for genuine connection and undivided attention. especially with family. For someone constantly on the move due to a demanding career, Damon suddenly found himself grounded. Like so many others, his work came to a standstill. But instead of focusing on what he couldn't do, he turned his attention to what he now could: spend quality, uninterrupted time with his children. And he did just that. In a heartfelt interview with Fatherly, Damon opened up about how the lockdown became an unexpected blessing in disguise. It gave him the chance to slow down and be present in a way that's not often possible in the fast-paced world of Hollywood. One of the most touching revelations he shared was about the bond he strengthened with his daughter, Isabella. At the time, Isabella was entering that delicate phase of teenage life where most kids begin to crave independence and distance themselves from their parents. It's a normal part of growing up, testing limits, finding identity, and pulling away to some extent. Damon acknowledged this with a warm honesty. "She should be starting to do her own thing," he admitted, but then he smiled and added, "On a selfish level, I'm kind of happy." That simple, candid statement reveals a lot about who Matt Damon is as a father. He isn't just someone who shows up because he's supposed to. He treasures his role. He finds joy in the little things: shared laughter, long conversations, quiet evenings, and the chance to truly be part of his children's everyday lives. That kind of fatherhood isn't just about responsibility. It's about gratitude and emotional presence. And Damon's love for his daughters isn't just something he expresses in words. He's taken it a step further, one that's both personal and permanent. The names of all 4 of his daughters are tattooed on his arm, etched into his skin forever. Each name is more than just ink. It's a daily reminder of the deep connection he shares with them, a tribute to the love that defines his life outside the spotlight. This gesture is more than symbolic. In a world where celebrity often distances stars from their families, Damon's decision shows how deeply rooted he is in his role as a father. The tattoos speak of memories, of shared moments, and of a bond that even fame and a busy career can't dilute. Through a global crisis that forced the world to pause, Damon found clarity. He reconnected with what truly matters: family, love, presence. In those quiet, slow days of lockdown, he discovered the treasure of time and embraced it with an open heart. What stands out is not just that Matt Damon is a devoted dad, but that he embraces fatherhood as one of the most important roles of his life. He's not trying to be perfect, he's just trying to be present. And in a world that often pulls people in every direction, that's a powerful, beautiful thing. It is indeed fascinating to have intentional parents who are famous in the entertainment world. How did he achieve that feat? How did Damon meet his wife? Let's delve into the details of the love story no one saw coming. From Hollywood lights to a nightclub twist, Matt Damon is a name that echoes across the world. With unforgettable performances in Good Will Hunting, The Martian, and the Jason Bourne series, he's long been a fixture in Hollywood's elite circle. But behind the fame, red carpets, and flashing cameras is a deeply personal love story, one that unfolded far from the glitz and glamour of movie premieres. This story doesn't begin in Beverly Hills or on a movie set, but rather on a vibrant night in Miami back in 2003, when fate brought Matt face to face with the woman who would change his life forever, Luciana Barroso. Theirs began in the most unexpected and refreshingly ordinary way. It was just another night for Luciana, who was working behind the bar of a lively Miami nightclub. For Matt, it was supposed to be a casual evening out, but as soon as fans started recognizing and swarming him, the relaxed outing quickly turned chaotic. Trying to escape the sudden attention, Matt looked for refuge and found it, of all places, behind the bar where Luciana was working. That moment would become the start of something truly special. Luciana, full of confidence and not the least bit intimidated by the presence of a Hollywood star, didn't hesitate to set the tone. "If you're going to be back here, you can't just stand around," she told him with a spark of wit. Unbeknownst to her, Matt had a bit of bartending experience himself. He had picked up some skills during the filming of a previous movie. Without missing a beat, he jumped in to help, mixing drinks and chatting with customers alongside Luciana. What started as an escape quickly became a connection. There was no red carpet, no script, and no stage lights. Just two people meeting in a real moment, sharing an unplanned experience. That brief night of teamwork behind the bar turned into long conversations, laughter, and a deep bond. Matt wasn't meeting a fan or someone enchanted by fame. He was meeting a real woman with a rich story of her own. Luciana wasn't just another face in the crowd. She was a single mom from Argentina who had worked hard to build a life for herself and her daughter in the U.S. Her strength, humility, and grounded nature stood in contrast to the superficiality of Hollywood life. And that's exactly what drew Matt in deeper. He wasn't just attracted to her beauty. He was inspired by her strength, resilience, and authenticity. Their love grew quietly but steadily. Away from flashing cameras and constant media buzz, Matt and Luciana chose to build something solid. They got married in a private ceremony in 2005, and over the years, their family grew. Matt didn't just embrace Luciana, he embraced her daughter as his own, and went on to have 3 more daughters with her. Today, while Matt Damon continues to shine in the spotlight, the most important role he plays is off-screen, that of a loving husband and devoted father. And it all began on a regular night in Miami, with a simple moment behind a bar. Proof that sometimes the most extraordinary love stories start in the most ordinary places. It's a tale of unexpected moments, mutual respect, and finding love where you least expect it, not in front of the camera, but in the quiet authenticity of real life. But who could think Damon would fall so much in love to the extent of marrying Luciana? Was the love so much that he was willing to take in her daughter from another man? Let's dive into the details of the love that blossomed into marriage. A mother's priority, a star's admiration. At the close of another ordinary workday, something extraordinary was about to unfold. Matt Damon, the celebrated actor known around the world, had been quietly watching from the sidelines, his eyes drawn to a woman whose presence was more powerful than any spotlight. Her name was Luciana, and there was something about her quiet grace, her warm yet mysterious smile, and the unwavering calm in her demeanor that captivated him. She wasn't trying to be noticed, yet she was unforgettable. On that particular evening, Matt decided to take a risk. With a heart full of hope and nerves to match, he approached Luciana. It was the kind of moment where time feels like it stands still, the kind of moment that could blossom into a beautiful beginning or vanish with a single word. He asked her out, hoping she'd say yes. But what happened next wasn't what most people would expect when a Hollywood star makes a move. Luciana, with poise and kindness, declined, not because she wasn't interested, not because she was playing hard to get, but because she had to get home. Waiting for her was her 4-year-old daughter, Alexia, and nothing, no dinner invitation, no celebrity, could come before that. To anyone else, it might have felt like a letdown, a missed chance. One of those stories you tell with a sigh, wondering what could have been. But Matt saw something else entirely. Her no wasn't rejection, it was revelation. In that one simple choice, Luciana had shown him who she truly was. She wasn't dazzled by fame or drawn in by charm. She was a mother, committed, responsible, and grounded. Instead of walking away disappointed, Matt was deeply moved. He wasn't used to people looking past his fame, and certainly not being turned down so gently and for such a meaningful reason. But this wasn't any ordinary encounter. It was a glimpse into the heart of someone extraordinary. In Luciana, he saw the kind of strength that doesn't make headlines, but builds homes. The kind of love that doesn't need applause, but is unshakable. That was one of the things he really loved, Luciana would later say, recalling that day. He told me, "I love that you're a mum and that's your priority." That moment of sincerity, the honesty of it, the simplicity, was the spark that lit something deeper than either of them expected. Unlike many whirlwind Hollywood romances that burn fast and fade quicker, Matt and Luciana's relationship unfolded slowly, like a novel written with care. Over the next 2 years, their bond grew, nurtured not by fame or fortune, but by shared values and mutual respect. They learned each other's stories, understood each other's dreams, and admired the person behind the public image. Matt didn't love Luciana because she was impressed by who he was. He loved her because she wasn't. Her calm steadiness, her devotion to her daughter, and her ability to stay grounded in a world full of noise made her stand out in ways that no red carpet ever could. In 2005, their love story took a new turn, not with flashing cameras or glamorous headlines, but with a quiet civil ceremony in New York City. It was a wedding without frills, but filled with intention. Two people choosing each other, not for the spectacle, but for the life they wanted to build together. That same year, Matt stepped into a new and far more meaningful role. He didn't just marry Luciana, he chose to become a father to Alexia. It was a conscious, heartfelt decision. He embraced her daughter with love and care, proving that fatherhood isn't just about biology. It's about presence, responsibility, and love. In doing so, Matt Damon showed the world that real love isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it starts with a gentle no that reveals a deeper truth. Sometimes it's not about fame or fortune, but about being there. Really being there for the ones who matter most. Their story isn't just a celebrity love tale. It's a reflection of what truly matters: sincerity, trust, family, and the quiet kind of love that endures. Because the most beautiful love stories aren't always loud. They're often written in moments of sacrifice, of choosing character over charm, of loving not in public, but in private, where it matters most. So, what was Damon's journey into fatherhood like? What kind of experience did he have stepping into adulthood? Let's take a look at the heart of a family man. Stepping into fatherhood. For Matt Damon, stepping into the role of a stepfather wasn't something he needed to think twice about. It wasn't a matter of maybe this will work or let's see how it goes. No, for him, it was instant. It was clear. It was wholehearted. From the very beginning, he was all in. In a 2010 interview, Matt opened up about this deeply personal chapter of his life. Suddenly, he said, it wasn't just my wife. It was her 4-year-old little girl. But rather than feeling overwhelmed or unsure, Matt described it as something completely natural. There was never a choice. It was just the way it was, and I was happy for that. That 4-year-old little girl was Alexia, the daughter of Luciana Barroso, Matt's wife. When they got married, Matt didn't just become a husband, he became a father figure too. And from the way he embraced that role, it was clear he didn't see Alexia as a stepdaughter. She was simply his daughter, no matter what biology said. Over the years, their bond has grown into something truly beautiful. Matt never treated Alexia like an outsider or someone he had to make space for. Instead, he opened his heart completely. He showed up for her in every way a loving father should, celebrating her wins, enduring her challenges, and cheering her on as she chased her dreams. Their relationship wasn't built on formalities. It was built on real moments, shared laughter, mutual respect, and genuine love. Matt even included Alexia in his professional world. In his 2011 film We Bought a Zoo, he gave her a special cameo role as one of the zoo staff. It was more than just a sweet gesture. It was a proud moment of bringing her into his world and giving her the spotlight, even if just for a few moments. And then there are the everyday things, the simple, meaningful experiences that turn a man into a dad. Matt proudly taught Alexia how to drive, a classic father-daughter milestone that often comes with a mix of anxiety, patience, and laughter. It was just one of the many dad duties Matt welcomed with open arms and a full heart. While Matt Damon is undeniably one of Hollywood's most recognized and respected stars, he is also one of the most private when it comes to his family. He rarely talks about them in interviews, and you won't find him sharing much on social media. He and Luciana have worked hard to keep their children, including Alexia and the 3 daughters they later had together, shielded from the harsh glare of the spotlight. Still, every now and then, a few heartfelt moments escape into the public eye, revealing the tender, loving father that Matt truly is. There was the time he smiled while reminiscing about driving Alexia to school, sharing how those car rides became cherished parts of his daily life, or the way he speaks about fatherhood, not as a responsibility he had to take on, but as a blessing he's deeply grateful for. For Matt, love didn't come with conditions or hesitation. It didn't depend on DNA. He chose Alexia, just as he chose Luciana, and that choice was made with complete devotion. And over time, what started as a new chapter in his personal life has blossomed into a touching story of what it means to truly love and be loved in return. In a world where blended families can sometimes struggle to find balance, Matt Damon's story stands out as a quiet, powerful example of what's possible when you lead with your heart. He didn't just marry a woman with a child, he built a family. And in doing so, he showed that fatherhood isn't always about biology. Sometimes it's about showing up, loving unconditionally, and being there every step of the way. What kind of family do Matt Damon, his wife, and his daughters make? Let's dig into the details of a family anchored in love. Beyond the cameras. In a world where movie stars are often caught in the glare of flashing cameras and overwhelmed by the rush of fame, Matt Damon has quietly crafted a life that's far removed from Hollywood's constant spotlight. While he's walked countless red carpets, starred in iconic films, and received global recognition, Damon has chosen a different kind of stage for his most meaningful performance: his home. Away from the cameras and interviews, Matt Damon has created a world centered on love, laughter, and values that don't fade with time. Together with his wife, Luciana Barroso, he has nurtured a family rooted in warmth and grounded in real life. Their home isn't just a place of luxury, it's a haven where the most important roles are those of father, mother, and daughter. Matt and Luciana's love story began in the most unexpected of places, behind a bar in Miami where she was working and he was filming. That ordinary night blossomed into something extraordinary. What started as a chance meeting quickly evolved into a deep and lasting relationship. Their union brought together not just 2 people, but eventually 5 hearts, 4 daughters, each with a personality as vivid as the characters Damon plays on screen. Alexia, Luciana's daughter from a previous relationship, whom Damon embraced as his own, has grown into an independent young woman. Wise beyond her years, she carries herself with grace and strength, clearly influenced by the love and support surrounding her. Then there's Isabella, navigating her teenage years with the kind of fearless confidence and sharp wit that makes her stand out. She's bold, curious, and unafraid to speak her mind, a quality her father greatly admires. Gia, the 3rd daughter, is at that stage of discovery and self-expression. She's slowly stepping into her identity, a bright light with a growing voice. Damon speaks of her with pride, often highlighting her creative side and her kind heart. And finally, there's Stella, the youngest of the crew, full of energy and charm. Her laughter fills every room, her questions never end, and her spirit keeps the family on its toes. She is the spark that completes their circle, the joy that reminds them to find magic in small moments. Through all the stages of fatherhood, Damon has stayed deeply involved. Despite his demanding career, he's been intentional about showing up, not just physically, but emotionally. He's the dad who goes to school plays, helps with homework, and knows each daughter's favorite snack. To him, fame is fleeting, but family is forever. What's remarkable isn't just Damon's dedication to his children, but the way he and Luciana have worked as a team to raise them with humility, empathy, and strength. Their daughters are growing up in a home where values matter more than headlines, and where love is louder than applause. Matt Damon may be a Hollywood superstar, but the role he treasures most doesn't come with an award. It comes with 4 beautiful faces calling him Dad. In every interview and every rare glimpse into his private life, one truth stands out. He's not just proud of his films. He's proud of the life he's built, one day at a time, one hug at a time. His story isn't just one of success on screen. It's a story of balance, of choosing what truly matters, and of proving that even under the bright lights of Hollywood, a man can remain true to his heart. So, are Matt Damon's daughters truly gorgeous? What about Isabella, the college girl? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.